I'm Kay, and this is Ashley, and we're the Meeple's Republic.
Today we're reviewing Titans Tactics, a game sent to us by Kelly Toyama of Imbalanced Games.
It's a two-player game that's heavy on strategy, but light on time.
So you are a Titan, you're Titans, each of you, and you're sending your champions, which are your minions, into the arena to fight for ultimate takeover of everything.
Everything. As Titans, you'll be sending your champions into the ring to fight your opponent. There are 5 different factions to choose from and 6 different champions in each faction. Each champion has different special abilities that may be better at marksmanship or moving or shielding themselves. And this will be very important because you'll be only choosing 3 different champions to send into the ring.
Alright, so speaking of choosing champions, these are the 3 that I chose to kick Kay's butt. So they've got each their own little perks. This guy can run around really great. This guy can burninate, and this guy doesn't take as much damage because of his shield, which is awesome, and Kay's gonna lose.
Well, since she chose the ugly faction, I chose the studly one. Let's get started.
You suck. Okay. So what happens with this game is it plays out over a maximum of 5 rounds, and there are 3 turns per round. How you win, there are 2 win conditions, which is kind of cool. This point counter moves in this tug-of-war sort of way. So if I do damage, it moves towards me. If Kay does damage, it moves towards her. Whoever gets it all the way to the end wins.
Or, instead of that, at the end of each round, whoever did the most damage gets a momentum point. So the first person to 3 momentum points also wins. During a round, players will be going back and forth playing their champions. During your turn, you have 1 of 3 actions that you can do. You can move, or you can do a special ability. For example, this little vixen here can backstab for the price of 1 red skill card. And then for your last action, you have the additional choice of choosing more skill cards. So, for my turn, I'm going to move Miss Cassandra Redblade here and definitely backstab that monster.
So I'm not so stoked about that backstabbing. So my rabid slime here, first what he's going to do is he's going to, for the cost of 1 blue card, slow her down. So next turn she'll only get 1 action instead of 2. And then I'm going to use this red card here for boils and sores. If target is currently affected by a status effect, that's this little blue guy that I just dropped down, deal 2 damage to the target. Sucker! Bam, bam. So that's the cool thing about these ability cards, that you get to use. So you get to pick these from your deck however you want. What happens once you use them, they go back in, and then on your last turn, so that's what I'm at right now, I get to go through the deck and pick out the cards that I want to use for my next turn. There's no randomness in this game. You pick your faction, you pick your champions, you pick your skill cards.
So, assuming this is the end of the round and we've all played every one of our champions, Ashley will need to spend an additional blue card to keep the slow motion on my vixen.
Done.
And also, because she dealt the most damage in this round, she's also going to gain a momentum point, which will make her even cockier for the next round.
So it's basically impossible for us to show you all the different combinations of all the champions from all the factions. But we've set up a new game board and we wanted to show you something that's really cool about when you're picking your champions, something to think of. So what I'm going to do is I've got Snowblight, and he's going to drag Kay's sucker of a champion over here. So now what's going to happen is if when Kay's champion activates, he gets burninated by my Snowblight, which is awesome. I get more damage. But also, when I start to use this guy, this is the Nameless, now that he's engaged by what we call a summon, I get extra attack points too. So I get even more damage. Awesome!
Just so you can keep in mind, this is an example, and I'm actually very good at winning games.
Titans Tactics is a game that's all about strategy. If you don't like strategy games, you probably won't like it. There's no randomness. It's short, which is great. We really like that about it. But because it's so short, if you make a mistake early in the game, it's likely that you're going to pay for it and lose.
The one thing that we really don't like about this game are the special ability tokens. So they're double-sided. For example, this one is stagger on one side and slow on the other. But as you're placing these on the board, you're going to figure that you might not find what you're looking for because it's already on the board as the backside to another ability that you've used. One of the workarounds that we've figured out for this game is to put these directly onto the champion cards instead of putting them on the champions on the board, because that makes it even more finicky. And instead of flipping these champion tokens, when you're done with them, we simply tap the card.
That is the one thing we really don't like about this game, is it's so finicky. So a cool thing it comes with are these shroud tokens, which are awesome. They're this cloud, can't see into them, can't see out of them. But when you place them on the board. And we didn't want to use them because placing them on the board and then having to take everything out, put everything on top, put it back on the board in the right place, and make sure Kay's not cheating was really annoying.
So, in addition to the workarounds that we figured out, we also thought of some other ideas that could make this game even more replayable. For example, these walls, you can randomize the way that they go in the arena with some dice rolls. Or, once you're more familiar with some of the champions, you can mix them all up and draft the heroes with your opponent.
I'm going to talk about this game first because I really like strategy games. The thing that I particularly like about Titan's Tactics is that it's very clear what's happening. The rulebook is amazing. It's really well written. You won't have any questions. There's no ambiguity. There's no having to house rule things or fights because someone said they were going to throw, but, you know, oh, they can't throw because they're dragging and you can't drag and throw. No, if you're going to throw, you throw. If you're going to drag, you drag. Everything's really straightforward and really easy to understand.
I am not a heavy strategy gamer. But the thing that I do love about this game is that tug-of-war of like doing damage and going back and forth between players, and that feels very thematic and very interesting. I also love that my heroes don't die, so if I do something stupid, I'm not throwing them all in the pit of fire. So for me, this game is great because it's short, it's a great way to introduce people to the strategy gaming world, and it's a great way for somebody who doesn't really enjoy strategy games all the time to play once in a while instead of bringing out Twilight Imperium and making me want to strangle you.
So thank you so much for watching. And note, if you guys like strategy games, we recommend that you pick this up. So it's Titan's Tactics by Imbalanced Games. If you have any questions for us, we're on Twitter, we're on Facebook. Go watch the rest of our videos. Thanks for watching.